Hello. My name is Daniel. I am an adventurer, I am a violinist, and I am not an adventurer. Let me explain. I almost died on top of the mountains in Tennessee on a side-by-side 4x4 with a man I barely knew and got fired because of it. That's a bit of an exaggeration. I didn't actually get fired, but I sure thought I had. I'm gonna set the scene for you. I was in college and I started to notice something. Some people left college and made a very small amount of money, and some people made a lot of money. Like all things being, I would rather make a lot of money. I was just trying to ask people who had very successful businesses, how did you do it? Or whatever. So I'm at one such event. I was invited to it by the guy that was putting it on. I'm sitting there and it's this really nice place on top of this mountain. So we're sitting here, there's about 25 or 30 people, and this is about how to manage people. I had no people to manage, but I hoped that one day I would. At the end of the event, they all wanted to go around and say what they did, and it ended up kind of being a networking opportunity for them. So they're like, I manage a ginormous real estate group. I have a ginormous business of some other kind. And I'm like, my name is Daniel Blair. I am 22 years old. I am a
server at Olive Garden.
All eyes on me, bro. They're like, okay. And then one guy kind of leans over and he goes, why are you here? Well, I would prefer to not always be a server, and I want to be like you guys. So I learned a lot that day. More importantly, I got an invitation to come back and just help out. So this guy was putting on these leadership events that were based on action and adventure. And he had these side-by-side Razr four-wheelers that are like turbocharged, extremely fast. He called me one day and said, hey, I've got an event coming up. Will you come help set up? And I'm like, yes! And I think to myself, you work at 5. You should take your work clothes with you, just in case. So I get caught up in helping him. We're setting up all this cool stuff. We're putting graphics on the vehicles and washing stuff. He tells me, hop in this Razr, we're gonna go up to the top of the mountain. Sweet, yeah. So I hop in next to him. He's like, you're gonna wanna put your seatbelt on. All right, fine. I'm not scared. So how fast is it? Pedal to the metal, man. Not only did my life flash before my eyes, my life flashed before my eyes. I had never been so scared in my life. Because you can't see anything, you're just like, and they're like, and I know he knows this trail, but my mind's thinking, what if we hit a branch? I'm gonna die. I didn't know this man very well. I just knew that I was gonna die and he was crazy and trying to kill me. He's like, how was it? I'm like, yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, pretty good. This is the man that I'm hoping will mentor me for my business, and I have to let him know that I'm not a complete chicken. So we go up in the woods, and on one side of the woods is like a cliff and a drop off into the lake. He is setting these markers, and he's like, I left some markers out here, I need to see if you can find them. So I start walking, and he starts walking. And all of a sudden I realize I am 100% lost in the woods. My phone has no signal, so I just keep walking until I come to the cliff. My phone has a tiny amount of signal, the time updates, and I realize that it is about 4 o'clock. I work at 5 o'clock. I'm freaking out, so I stand on the edge of this cliff and I call my boss. I'll protect the innocent. This is so-and-so. I'm like, hey, this is Daniel. I'm out in the middle of the woods. I am completely lost. My boss was furious. Did not believe a word I was saying and just hung up the phone on me. I told him the truth. Maybe that was the wrong thing. Rather than jumping off the cliff, I just meander through the woods until I finally hear this gentleman, and then we go back on the Razr. And by then, between me thinking I'd lost my job and being lost, I was no longer scared of the Razr. And he's like, I'm gonna go up here and do this. Why don't you take the Razr down this path and clear anything on the path? I am going to tear this thing up. So I hop in, and I drove that thing the most delicately as anything has ever been driven until I round the corner and I see him. And again, I'm like, I can't think, this dude cannot think I'm a chicken. Pedal to the metal. And once you're driving, it becomes way less scary. So, here's my word of advice. If you're scared out of your wits, try driving. Get in the driver's seat, people. Put on your big boy diaper and go have some fun. So that is the day I almost died on a Polaris Razr. I know that imagining it in your brain, it might not be that scary, but when you're zipping around a mountainside on super steep cliffs, you would probably be scared as well. Goodbye!